Okay, I'm back, and the only thing I did since I turned the camera off was I braid a little. Blended that into the stuff from the other side. And you just gotta watch flakes, because flakes are gonna do what they want to do, and that flake ran sideways all the way over to here because of the way the ridges were. I mean, it ran the other way, but it also ran sideways. So if you get in the habit of just hitting stuff without looking at it, you're gonna get some surprises, because reading the contours is gonna tell you kind of what them flakes are gonna do. They like ridges. If you need a long flake to do something and you got a flat surface, you ain't gonna get it. It ain't gonna happen. So you gotta have what you need. I'm hitting on the end, and it's not scary. It used to be scary. Now it's not scary. All right. So that is a purely percussion flake scar pattern that was done without setting up isolation and without being careful. And so it isn't impossible, but it also isn't easy, and this side don't look near as good. And it's partially because, you know, you get a flat surface, sometimes you get a little convex surface, you got a plano convex type thing, and you're talking a mile a minute. And you can ask my wife, you know, I'm a menace when I'm talking while I'm driving. Like, you know, we'll set out, head down the road to go to the store, and I'll end up in another state. All right, let's see. Where's a big old pressure flaker? And where's a hand pad? Now, this is not glass. This is not obsidian. And so I'm going to try and get over here, and I'm going to try and adjust you without turning you off, where you can see maybe what's going on, but I can't. Oh crap, that's a real problem. I mean, I know you can probably see it, but I can't. Well, we are gonna hope for the best. And this camera's on a tripod, and so it's kind of real close to me, which, you know, you may go flying if I do this wrong and just go crazy. Can you see this? Is this okay? Because if this isn't, I would really hate to find out that I did all this for like 20 minutes and you couldn't even see it. All right, maybe you can see it. I've got a sinuous wavy edge, okay? And I'm going to opportunistically go along it and start straightening it, but at the same time I'm going to try and run in some honking flakes. And I don't have enough personal strength to do that, so I rely on like judo with the issue stick. Lock my hand back in the back of my leg, lock this hand in the back of my leg, lock the upper end of the issue stick in my rib cage, have my forearm against this part to kind of bow it. It's got some flex to it. And I just hold this in place with the tip. When I do the tip, I hold it like this, kind of funky, so that I can push inward. I'm pushing downward. I'm not pushing over here. Pushing downward. Okay. So now, you should be able to see this spread out wide, because I've got a wide tip kind of here. It's spread out wide, and it came all the way over to here, and, you know, did a little step on that side. You need to be able to generate power. Notice that I'm beveling this at an angle. I'm putting the angle on it for my little platforms. And I can isolate platforms and stuff, but I'm not. I point this towards the back. It's not straight in, and it's not, definitely ain't facing this way. I'm pointing toward the back, and I'm scooping hard into it like it's ice cream that's frozen. On into there. And see, this would be my next one, but I don't like it, and there's a better ridge right here, so I'm skipping it. I'm gonna push like heck on this one. That flake broke, so you can't really see the whole flake, but that came to there. And see, it lowered that hump. Now, do I need to be doing this? No, not really, because again, if I'm trying to make a fulsome, I got a bunch of width to lose. But anyway, there's a new ridge that I created. Little bit of concavity there. And to do that right, I'll show you how to deal with that right. This delta's always, when you take flakes side by side, they create the little delta that has a little bit of a concavity right there at that tip. So what you do is you flip it and you bevel it up, and then you flip it back and bevel it back down. And by doing that, you get your platform back where you wanted it, but you've eliminated that little delta concavity. That didn't look as good when I did it as the concept. You just know the concept. Scooping into it. That ran to there. I wonder if you can see that. It ran to there, and part of it ran over there. And do it fast. Ran to there. And I'm putting every bit of strength I can into this. I don't know if it looks like it to you, but that's what I'm doing. That actually undercut it even more. That was almost an overshot. It came underneath it. I can see that the crack runs to right there. And again, I got makes little concavities. So I don't go back and push on that. That's weak, and it's got a concavity right there. That flake has got a little ridge, a little concavity, and a weak platform. It's no good for anything. It needs to be redone. So I'll go over here. I got a little step there, and actually I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna show you how to do something right. This is that platform sucks. It's at the center line. It's beefier on the sides than it is on the platform itself. There's a little hump right there. That platform stinks, so we're gonna fix it. First, I'm gonna use the small bit to lower it a little bit toward that face. So I go in the middle of it and lower it just a tiny bit. And then I bevel it down and look at it. And what I'm looking for is it ground enough, and is it at the right angle, and is it low enough? But about halfway between the center line and the face. And yeah, it looks kind of like that. It does have a knife edge on the front edge, and I don't want a knife edge on it, so I get rid of that. I also, while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and abrade that little ridge a little bit, because I gotta do something on that. I want this one to go. All right, so now, these two things to the side of it are kind of abraded. I don't want that. I want those sharp knife edges. So I'm gonna push outward and outward. And I have now isolated it. So I have a knife edge here, a knife edge there, and a platform there that's abraded. Okay? And the reason I went outward is because I said this on another video, your flake spreads. So if you go inward, they pinch your ridge right there and ruin your platform to where your platform is going to fail. So you go outward with them to where the inside edge of them doesn't do that. All right. So now, hopefully you've looked at this, and hopefully I'm holding it right where you can see it. Right in here. Thickness, you see it? All right, we're going to see if we can make that go away. I'm going back to my big bit. And you know what? Since I'm trying to show you how to do something right for once, when your bit gets chewed up, which they get chewed up really fast on this raw rock, it can make it skate, but it also can make it attenuate some of the force because it just absorbs it more when it's chewed up. So I'm gonna scoop ice cream big time, okay? So it completely undercut that hump, and it's flat, and it came to there past that hump thing that I was worried about. And you can see from this side how much it flattened and lowered. I hope you can see this stuff. I'm sitting here looking to see if you can see what I'm seeing. All right. Enough talk, more action. But I'm always ambivalent about it because on the one hand, yeah, I'd like you to see points getting made, but on the other hand, I'd really like you to be able to make points like you want to make them. And so me going slower and talking and trying to make sure you understand is much better than me doing a bunch of gee whiz pressure flakes and you going, oh, that's pretty, I wonder how you did it. I don't know if you can see it, but that was an overshot. It came from here all the way over and it took off the edge right there. And that one, the platform failed because I didn't abrade it and it wasn't good enough and it stepped. And so, you know, it's a good thing I didn't gloat too much over that previous flake. It might have been a little bit low too. So you say, well, should I flake back into it? No, probably not. So what is it that I'm doing? I don't know. Hang on a second and I'll tell you. I just kind of, there was a little high spot there, I just kind of undercut it. It sort of blew off half that little step, but didn't really do anything. It's like I'm trying to do micro flaking here. And okay, so I go this way to get rid of those concavities on the deltas. And then now I'm kind of at the center line with this, but I still got a high spot there that I want to deal with. And that whole side is more this way. So until you get it regularized, don't do what the book says. Don't try and go in sets going, you know, one way or the other. Do what needs to be done based on what you see. So I got one hump right there and a semi hump there, and that's lower, and so we're going to be opportunistic and we're going to go in here and try and fix some of this junk. And if I wanted to do that right, I would have set up an isolated platform and it would have run a lot further, but it did run past the center line and it did undercut that problem. Are you able to see this when I'm doing the flakes actually? I'm going to try and look a second here. Okay, so if I'm right here, can you see that? Yeah, you kind of can. I'm just pointing towards the back and working into it hard. I'm torquing into it just about as hard as I can. And I'm not strong. Oops, I just shook you. Sorry about that. I'm not strong. I couldn't do squat when I started out. I do not use hand flakers at all. That one ran over there. I use issue sticks. I'll use a hand flaker if I'm doing fine work, like if I'm making a bird point or something. And then I know people that don't use issue sticks at all and use only hand flakers. Well, I mean, they may be beasts and I'm not. But even with the issue stick, I've noticed sometimes if I do a lot of napping, which I try not to overdo anymore, if I do a lot of napping, my wrists start hurting. And I've said before, that's why I made this pad to keep my fingers from locking up. My fingers started locking up on me when I first started. I was napping every day and napping a bunch. And I started getting trigger finger where, you know, it was hard to open my fingers and it was hard to close my fingers. I had like a little step joint in there where they were stopping. And it was worrying me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to nap anymore. But not only that, I mean, my hands are ruined. Well, I just was overdoing it and I was taking too long to take my flakes. I was loading up on the flakes, like, bam. And I was doing everything wrong. The technique was wrong. And I didn't know it because nobody showed me how to do it. I was trying to judge how much pressure I had and get it to a certain amount and do all this kind of crap. Well, your flakes go better when you take them quickly. A little oomph on the other end of it makes them go better. Okay, so you can kind of see the sides have been flaked a bit. It's getting kind of smooth and kind of regular. And I'm not worried about the pattern because if I do end up actually trying to flute it, the pattern will go away. So it's no big deal. But even if I don't flute it, you know, this isn't anywhere close to finished. So the pattern that you see during the process, it would be nice to have even ridges if I was going to try and make something really gee whiz even. I could actually start trying to do it all oblique. If you want to see some cool oblique flaking, go to Jason Newman's YouTube video. Jason's a beast, and go to his YouTube video and look at his making an Angostura point video. And I suggest watching the whole thing. I actually suggest watching all his videos, but if you're just interested in the pressure flake and it starts on the second video, it's just a 2-video series because he's like 10 times faster than me at napping, so, which is annoying as heck. Because like, it's like I've told him before, so you know, I don't care that you're so good, but I don't like you being so fast and so good. Because he'd be like at a nap-in with him or something, and he'll be sitting there talking to 8 people, and in a couple hours he's made like 2 10-inch long tang knives or something like that. It's ridiculous. And there are those people, I mean, you know, when you see somebody do that at a nap-in, that means they're the real deal. They can do it. Sometimes you watch people at nap-ins, and they got their keeper cases there, you know, on display or whatever, and you're like looking at it, and you're oohing and ahhing and saying, oh man, that's great. And then they'll nap something, and you're like, I'm just talking trash. I'm all Joe Cool and Billy Bad when I'm at home by myself. Just me and y'all. Somebody asked me yesterday, I told somebody I'll put some more videos up, and they said, you sing on them? I'm like, no. That's why I kind of sang a little today. Who knows, I might be able to parlay this into something else. What do you think? How much time have I wasted? Oh my gosh, it's 19 minutes. See, that's actually starting to look like something other than just a biface. It's almost a preform. Okay, I'm stopping. I'll be right back.